Namaskaram everyone. Today I'm going to speak about a very important part of astrology, which is the association between the sixth and the eighth house. And there's a lot of fear when it comes to the sixth and the eighth house because often sixth house is associated with diseases, debts, it is associated with enemies, and the eighth house is decided, or it decides your transformation, or it decides your death, the reasons of your death. But the association, the close association with the sixth and the eighth house, the reason for the transformation, the reason of the death, has to be understood very deeply, and there is nothing to be afraid of. So, again, if we have to speak about the eighth house, a very important shloka comes into my mind, which is Om Jatave, they say, Sunvama Soma Marata Marati Yato Nidhati Vedaha Sanah Parshadati Durgani Vishwanaveva Sindhum Duritaityagniya. This is from the Durga Suktam, which means that when we offer Soma, Savan sacrifice, to the omnipresent Agni Deva, may this Agni Deva burn our enemies, wealth to ashes. May that Agni Deva carry us over the worldly sorrows just as a ship carries us across river and protects us from all the sins. Hence, the eighth house is extremely deep and it is associated with the element Mars and a little bit Ketu also. There is another shloka that comes in my mind when I think about the sixth house. Kritikaha Prathamam Vishakhe Uttamam Tami Devnakshatrani Anuradhaha Prathamam Apabharani Ruktamam Tani Yamanakshatrani. This means that the Deva Nakshatras, that is the star of the gods, it always begins from Kritika and it ends with Vishakha. And Yama Nakshatras will always begin with Anuradha and end at Bharni. There are a couple of things that we need to understand going forward because, as per the Kalpurusha. Now, if I have to speak about again the sixth and the eighth house from the Kalpurusha chart, uh, the Deva Nakshatras, it starts from Aries and it ends in Scorpio. And the journey of the Deva Nakshatra in ascendant, it completes at the eighth house. Now, in the Kalpurusha chart again, the Yama Nakshatra will always begin from the Scorpio and it will end at Aries. Understand this. Hence, the journey starts from the eighth house and it ends in the ascendant. I'm talking about the Yama Nakshatras. Okay. So therefore, it can be inferred that the Deva Nakshatra travels through the eight houses, all the eight houses. But the Yama Nakshatra will travel through the six houses. So obviously we know the meaning of Deva as per the Sanskrit language, right? So Deva means what? The root Deva, which means to shine, which means endowment of light, which means um, shining visibility, which also means a little part of Maya, uh, and this manifested world, right? So whole of this life of yours, this the entire graph of your life is seen through this journey of nakshatras from the ascendant to the eighth house and from the eighth house to your ascendant back. So the Deva, whole of this life is seen through the Deva nakshatras, and usually the journey is more towards the eighth house, of course, but it is a journey of life in this manifested world of Maya. Hence, eighth house is very auspicious because it decides your karma, your karmic cycle, what you're going to achieve, what is your product karma, what is that cycle that you have to pass through, and how you would be blessed by the devas in this process to be able to attain and achieve the targets, the goals of your soul. Yama, on the other hand, what does that mean? Yama means one who is bounded by certain restrictions. And when we speak about restrictions, we mean responsibilities, everything that binds us into this Mayavi world, everything that is restricting our growth, everything that restricts us from not being able to achieve the soul purposes. So this can be in the form of luxuries, the desires that we have internally, the attachments, the toxic attachments that we have towards life, or it could be some other kind as well. So when Mars is showing you the beginning of life through the medium of Yama nakshatras, effort is required to inhale and exhale. Here you're not doing conscious breathing. Here you just want to breathe. Here you want to like mm, just want to do something for survival. And of course you need survival for the body to survive, for you to sustain the worldly materialistic things. It is only later that the prarabdha karmas come in the picture, when the person realizes that these are the karmas that you need to work upon, focus upon. And the junction of these groups of stars shows the sixth and the eighth relationship, presenting some very specific situations like um, let me give you some examples of it. Like, for example, Aries, Scorpio, and Scorpio to Aries. Aries to Scorpio and Scorpio to Aries is one journey. Then Taurus, Libra, and Libra, Taurus is another journey of Venus, Venus. Sagittarius, Taurus to Taurus, Sagittarius is now the journey of Jupiter, Venus. Then Mole Trikona, Mercury, which is in Virgo sign, and Saturn in Aquarius, or non-Mole Trikona, Mercury in Gemini, and Saturn in Capricorn is another journey. Then Mole Trikona, Mercury in Virgo, and Mars in Aries, or a non-Mole Trikona, Mercury in Gemini, and Mars in Scorpio is another journey. We need to understand, and that for this particular reason, an astrologer needs to dive deeper into the kundali to understand the relationship and what kind of journey that you're going to pass through to reach that final destination, when you will be actually able to cover all your karmas, prarabdha karmas, and specifically the sufferings that you would be going through, the life lessons that you would be going through to be able to accomplish the soul goal or the soul mission. So, for example, if the ascendant falls in Mars sign, then the other side of Mars will automatically fall in the sixth house. Understood this part? So, this signifies some sort of a disease, some sort of an accident. It can also mean that it can also be the opposite. It can also be the freedom of some sort of disease, because it's like destroying somewhere the negative part. Okay, it can also signify death. Now, death here doesn't always mean physical death. It could also mean transformation in some other way, or some sort of a deep knowledge secret of occultism. So all these significations gets attached to descendant. That's why if you've seen scorpions, or if the Scorpio is in the ascendant, these people can be highly secretive in nature. They will have a natural inclination towards occult, and they would naturally be pushed towards transforming their lives to become somebody very different from where they started. Okay, so, and because of course it's stagnant water, murked with algae, such people have very deep driven potential that will only unveil when they're able to remove the prarabdha karma. Again, the cycle of the Deva nakshatras and the Yama nakshatras would matter quite a bit, and of course the planet's placement along with these nakshatras. Now, along with this, Venus also plays a very important role, because Venus is said to be doctor, Aushadha. Why? Reason being because Venus is all about pleasure, Venus is all about luxury, it is also about desire, it is also about your materialistic goals. So, somewhere for the sustenance, you need Venus, and that kind of like, The moment you have Venus and a good Venus in your chart, you feel a little grounded. You feel that you're here for a materialistic goal and you'll be able to accomplish those materialistic goals with stability. So, Venus kind of plays a very important role along with Mars for a stable juncture. And like Shukracharya, of course, is from Venus, and so hence, Shukracharya had Elixir, he had this mantra of Mamrityunjaya. So Venus also works as a healer. Okay, but in the Kalpurusha chart, if you've seen that, Venus are Marka, and therefore, because it is Marka, anything which is Marka, anything mm, which is transformative, will lead you towards the knowledge of occult science, will lead you towards a transformation which is beyond your understanding. There are two issues in the combination of the Mars and the Mercury relationship also. So, if in a horoscope there's a conjunction between Mars and Mercury, that such people can be highly, highly, highly intelligent, but at the same time, they can give you mental health issues also. So, a native experiences different things based on the placements, of course, but the sixth and the eighth house here plays a very important role in deciding the relationship and what exactly this person is going to go through. So, Mars and Mercury, like I've explained, sixth and the eighth house, can make a person extremely intelligent, but we also need to understand where that energy of wisdom is being bestowed or where is it being put. Because if there is an over intelligence, there's an over analytical brain leading to mental health issues also, and it can give you migraine as well. So, so exercising prudence is important, and if that is done, then of course the results will be achievable. And the more you understand these, subtitles, the easier it will be for you to relate the events in your life. The the sixth and the eighth relationship is amazing to understand your potential and the transformation that you would be going through in this birth. Thank you. Namaskaram, everyone.